Tokyo Marui has always been revered like no other airsoft manufacturer in the world, and when they announced that they'll be releasing a new gun, everybody is holding their breath, for better or for worse. And in case you're new to airsoft, Tokyo Marui is the company that single-handedly revolutionized airsoft as a whole when they invented the automatic electric gun, or AEG for short. Bet you didn't know that. Which has pretty much been the industry benchmark for the last century. While most of the airsoft industry out there usually likes to copy, Tokyo Marui is out here innovating, coming up with new inventions. And every time they come up with something and put their minds to it, it eventually becomes a benchmark. Don't believe me? What's the most popular sniper rifle platform? I'll wait. Probably the VSR-10, right? And what is probably the most popular gas pistol platform? The High Kappa, am I right? As a brand, if you come to think of it, to get a chance to set the standard in one category, you're happy. But when you get a chance to set the standard in 3 different categories, that says something about your brand and company as a whole. Several years ago, Tokyo Marui wanted to supercharge or upgrade their AEG platform. And in doing so, they created the NGRS, or the Next Generation Recoil Shock System. And inadvertently, it became, without a shadow of a doubt, the best electronic blowback, or EBB system out there, available, bar none. So it's high time Tokyo Marui moved into another new category that they have not really explored, the LMG market. And in their new LMG platform, they decided to amalgamate several of their key technologies into one platform, into this, the Marck 46 EBB AEG. But is this pricey new Marck 46 a delicate toy for recreational show and tell, or can it stand up to the tough demands of all-day skirmishing? The Marck 46 is a variant of the SAW, or the M249, used by the US military. Without getting into too many details about the real steel gun, some of the obvious differences are the railed handguard, the stock, and generally shorter barrel. As the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the Marck 46, and it's not a real Tokyo Marui review unless we do an unboxing. And what a box do we have here today? This is one big box. It's a really big box. It's at least 2 to 3 times bigger than regular airsoft gun boxes, and I'm gonna show you why. So let's get right into the unboxing. The reason why this is such a huge box is because there's 2 boxes inside this box. Now let's get right into it. So the first one, you're gonna have all the components, and then, of course, the main event, the gun itself. But we're gonna save this for a little later. Let's see what's in the component box. Now, the component box is pretty cool. It's got these 2 handles here, and it looks like you're pulling out a crate. Let's open her up and see what's inside. Box in a box, and another box. Take the plastic away. So this is what you get on the inside. Let me take the essentials out. This is what you get inside your components box. Your bipod, magazine, your dummy rounds, the links, and the operator's manual. I like how they have this separated. It's kind of like opening up a new iPhone or whatever Android phone you guys like to use. Let's open these up and show you guys what's inside. First, the bipod assembly. Oh, very nice. Individually packed. And I find it's really cool that it comes with the bipod not attached to the gun, because personally, I think without the bipod mounted, it looks much better. And let's be real, right? How often are we going to use that bipod? It doesn't lend itself to be a stationary gun. But that's the bipod. Magazine. Oh, that's very cool. Individually packed as well, as you can see. Now, it looks very small, and it says it's got about a 2,500 round capacity. I'm interested to see how this is going to perform later, but very small looking box mag. If anyone's going to be able to make a small box mag and still have a high round capacity, it's going to be Tokyo Marui. So let's see how that works later. Wow, why don't you take a look at that? Doesn't this look like individually packed chocolates? That's actually pretty cool. I can't believe I'm so excited at looking at links. This is my life right now. And now let's look at these dummy rounds, and yes, these look very nice. Look at them, individually packed. Wow, take a look at that. Take a look at that. That's some dedication. Here it is, the Marck 46, and this is how it comes out, and it's wrapped in this nice box. So let's open it up, right? Whoa. Whoa, look at this. Boys and girls, look at this bag. Can we just take a moment and appreciate this bag? Let's talk about the bag first before we talk about the gun.
A few moments later.
Now that you see this huge bag inside that box, I'm sure this dispels as to why the box is so big. I'm sure some of you have seen photos of the box online, and well, this is why it is so big. But, you know, just take a look at this bag though. I think it's one of the nicer bags I've seen for a gun bag or just kind of any bag out there. You have all the pockets you need up front. You even got these side pockets with this net here. You can put a bottle of BBs inside. That's what they kind of wanted you to do, but you can put a water bottle in there if you would like. And it's big enough for you to even use it as like travel luggage. I mean, think about that. Tokyo Marui designed travel luggage. I think that's pretty cool. And finally, let me direct your attention right here to the patches. Tokyo Marui patches, the original Tokyo Marui patches. If you don't think so, I certainly think so. This patch right here is probably worth the price of the gun. Am I right, guys? My fellow patch junkies out there, am I right? And here it is, the naked gun. Now let me put everything together and we're gonna talk about it. Now the Marck 46 is a little bit shorter compared to some other 249s out there. And notably compared to, you know, the G&P series of M249s, it's also lighter. So it's easier for you to shoulder this gun as you shoot. Of course, I would always recommend a vertical foregrip to help give you a little bit better support. But overall, it is a lighter gun than some of the 249s I've shot before from G&P. The handguard, the receiver, and most of the parts are full metal. The pistol grip and the stock are high quality plastic that we've come to expect from Tokyo Marui. A very cool feature that I think at times is overlooked by other manufacturers is the ability to latch your round in the chamber, much like it would on a real gun, like this. Very cool. I know some might think it's a little silly, but you know, it just gives you a better sense of immersion. Adding to that, you actually have to pull the charging handle before you can shoot. So before you shoot the thing, you have to pull that charging handle. I think that is really cool. Now, while we have the dust cover open, now I want to talk about these dummy rounds while they're in place. This back here is the recoil module. And as it travels back and forth to give you that little bit of extra bump in your shoulder, it moves this back and forth to add a little bit of something for you to feel like you're really shooting the real gun. So as you move this back and forth, as you can see, it moves this latch here and it shifts the dummy rounds back and forth. Just like that. I can't wait to shoot this thing because I think it's going to be quite interesting. One thing I do have to note though, this recoil module is really heavy. I feel like it's just a solid piece of weight. So what I would surmise is this would probably draw a good amount of power out of your battery. So make sure you have a battery with a big capacity. I'm looking at you, Titan Power. This should be able to help you play all day without having to swap batteries in and out. Here's a hop-up right here. Easy to find. The dial is huge, so even if you have gloves, it's easy to adjust that hop-up right here. Now the battery fits right here in the bottom portion of the handguard, and there's a lot of space down here for you to put a lot of battery. So if you got a big Titan, don't worry, you're gonna be able to fit one in there. You just gotta make sure you finesse the barrel back in place, and then you're good to go. I'm very refreshed to see that there's a large compartment for a large battery, because I feel like I've been ragging on a lot of AEGs as of late that there's not enough space for your batteries. But I digress. Anyways, how do you install said battery? Now, hats off to TM. They made the battery installation process really fun. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Yes, the battery changing process I think is pretty cool. How you do that is, it's an homage to the real steel gun where you can swap out the barrels. You see this latch right here? As you pull down this latch, the outer barrel and whole assembly pops out like this. Take this latch, watch here. It just pops out. Then you can remove this whole front outer barrel assembly, just like you would the real version. And you have access to all the space here for you to put your batteries in. Wow. So here we are at gun range 0, and we're about to shoot the Mark 46. But before we do so, we want to make sure we chrono it for you guys, and being an LMG, well, it only makes sense for us to chrono and show it FPS as well as the RPS. So we're going to do just that. One thing I do want to tell you that's really cool though, we've been talking a whole lot about immersion when it comes to this gun. Did you know that after you pop in the magazine, you have to charge it first before you can even shoot it? I think that's really cool. So let's get right to it. Wow, look at that FPS variance. Very stable. The Mark 46 being a light machine gun that's going to make you the support gunner. That means your job is to lay suppressive fire for your team as they advance or as they retreat. In that sense, a little bit of spread as you're firing full auto is a good thing. So we're going to see just how much spread the Mark 46 has shooting at those 3 targets down there. Now, it is my theory that at this distance with a Tokyo Marui gun, your spread is probably going to be very, very minimal, if any at all. So what I'm thinking is I should be able to hit consistently the middle flap of the middle target as I go full auto. But we'll see. As I suspected, there wasn't a whole lot of spread. There was a little bit when it got further out. It probably spread about the size of my palm, which means if it's even further out, then okay, then you may end up getting a bit more spread. But being a Tokyo Marui, it's very accurate. Now I'm going to be doing a little bit shooting on the move. This gun being a shorter profile gun, it is really more conducive to be running around with this than other traditional 249s. Let's see how maneuverable is the Mark 46. I'm gonna starting off with here, tucked under my arm. I'm gonna come shoulder it. I'm gonna take a couple shots, then I'm gonna move. Let's go. Now, I've shot a lot of AEGs in my time here at RedWolf, but what I do have to say is this particular one is a standout. Just take my word for it, man. A lot of AEGs I've shot have all used the traditional version 2 gearbox. Some of them have been really good shooters, some shot really fast, some just put a smile on your face. This thing is on a whole different level. How Tokyo Marui has designed the recoil system with that huge heavy weight back here kicking into your shoulder, it just feels so good. And it's loud and it's kind of obnoxious and it's just there to be seen and heard. It's great. It's what you would expect like a light machine gun to be. What's also a really interesting feature is as the recoil assembly is going back and forth, it is causing your chain link here to move with it. And it just, some people may think it's silly. I think it's pretty interesting. But this is not the first time we've seen this feature. Actually, the RWA 1919 featured this in that gun several years ago. You can check it out in the card above. Tim reviewed it. Cool gun. Oh, before we get into the last portion of this shooting session, I want to talk to you guys about this box mag. Now, under these very nice dummy rounds, I have to say, is the box mag. And the box mag itself holds what they claim to be 2,500 rounds. I don't know how. It looks very small, but that's what the paperwork says at least. But what's really cool about this is it doesn't take 9-volt batteries. It actually takes 4 AAAs, which makes battery availability so much easier and cheaper for you guys to use and swap in and out. 9 volts sometimes, pain in the butt to find, and well, let's just say they're not the cheapest battery to get as well. Another really cool feature is the big bullet button here for you to press and it'll wind. Now, I think I've only wound this thing maybe twice during this whole time which I was shooting. So, pretty cool. Hats off, Tokyo Marui. Got the box mag down. Now for this last part. Now, I've always wanted to try this. This is a full auto gun, and that's the only mode that it can shoot. I want to see if I can shoot it semi-auto based on how I'm able to pull the trigger. In the real steel world, you can actually train yourself to do this. Now, I want to see if that can translate to airsoft. Let's see if it works. Oh, I did it! Oop, no, that shot too. It is doable, just need a bit of practice. I've really always wanted to do that. Now, back to the studio. I have reviewed other 249s in the past, namely one of my favorites is gonna be the HPA tapped 249 from G&P. I had a lot of fun shooting that video. You can click that in the card above, or you can find it in the description below. Now let's talk about this guy, because I feel like there's still a little bit to unpack. Does the TM Marck 46 stand out, and does this particular version of the next gen recoil system work? Well, I guess let's address the first part. Does it stand out? Yes, it does stand out. It stands out like a sore thumb, but in a good way. We as airsoft players, a lot of times we want more immersion, more realism. Well, at least some of us. That's why a lot of us have switched over to gas blowback rifles or TM next gen recoil shots, because we want more from that airsoft experience. Being able to translate some of those functions and controls on the real steel gun into the airsoft version really helps fulfill that fantasy of me feeling like I'm really a support gunner out there. We've seen this kind of realism transfer before from sniper rifle platforms to the AR, M4, and AK platforms, and now to see it come to an LMG, wow, that is really cool. I mean, what timeline are we living in right now? Now, is it a cool concept only, or is this thing an actual practical gun to use? When I was at Gun Range 0, I felt like this iteration of the TM Next Gen Recoil Shock was in no ways just some dainty flower. I felt like it was a serious gun that can put out some serious work. There were times where I was holding on to that trigger for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 seconds long as I was just laying waste to some targets out there to warm up the gun to get it ready to film. What I found was the motor didn't really heat up at all with all that auto. And that's a fantastic thing to feel. The recoil felt excellent. The only thing I would say though is because it's driving this heavy weight back into your shoulder constantly, I can only imagine the draw it's gonna have on your battery. So make sure you do have a battery that's gonna be able to last you all day. Again, I recommend the Titan, but I've already talked about this earlier in the video. So finally, are there a few things I may not like about this gun? Yes, I mean, couldn't we have real rails up front instead of these fake rails? And the battery draw, but then again, I'm just nitpicking. But what do you guys think? Do you think this gun is worth all the hype? Do you think the whole experience of unboxing and the immersion and how this thing comes to you with the cool bag, you think it's worth it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below and I'll probably join y'all there. But I digress, guys. For cool guns like this and many more, don't forget to check out our online store, www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel, and now I have to pack this thing, and I know it's gonna be a pain in the butt. But anyways, if you thought this video was cool, give us a thumbs up. And if you thought it was nice, don't forget to share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified for our next videos, hit the notification bell. See y'all on the next episode of RWTV.